Hi, welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. It's currently Sunday, October 5th, 9:04, 21:04 on my phone clock there. So the Seven of Swords energy is coming through. I want to do a reading on this. And first came through for me at the very beginning of this year. I pulled some cards to kind of fill out the energy for each month, or each moon cycle, I should say. Seven of Swords came out for this month, and so now I want to kind of navigate that. So I'm going to be navigating this with you just as much as you are going to be navigating it with me, because this is all going to be new. Obviously, we kind of worked our way to this energy. I'm going to pull a tarot card here because now, you know, energy is fluid. It changes, it shifts. Six of Swords at the bottom of the deck. Interesting. Ooh, with the devil on the split. Okay, anyway, so what I'm trying to say is energy shifts and changes all the time. So the energy of the Seven of Swords that came out that I pulled for the beginning of the year may not be what it is now, but it's feeling like that. It's feeling like a new strategy, a better strategy. It does feel like there's some kind of deception here within you or around you, right, from someone else, but something about like doing something different now. Now you're doing something different. This month, you're turning things around. You're doing something different. And it could have been caused by some kind of lying, stealing, cheating, deception type energy. Or it could just be you tired of your own bullshit. And you're like, you know what? I'm doing something different. So I want to pull some clarifiers here for the Seven of Swords energy. Help me navigate this here. Five of Cups, definitely letting something go, letting something be, letting something flow out of you so you can keep these replenished. Ooh, okay, let's keep going. Definitely letting something go, though. Is this one? It's not one. I want to get 3 cards. I think whatever this is, it has been like a hard journey, a difficult journey, but those are not the words I want to use for some reason. It's been a journey. Let's just say that. It's had its ups, it's had its downs. You felt some really deep emotions, some really low emotions, some really high emotions. Temperance, yeah, really low emotions, really high emotions. Like there was this alchemy happening between all of that. And truth is transcending any illusions that may have occurred. King of Wands, yeah. Ooh, yes, truth is transcending any illusions that may have occurred. The Strength card at the bottom here with the Lovers at the top, because you made some kind of choice recently, a really difficult decision to do something, maybe letting go of a past lover, letting go of a relationship, a job, a way of being, a habit, pattern, an environment, a culture, a group, something, right? It was difficult. And when I was like, truth is transcending illusion, this is what this is giving me. High Priestess could speak to illusionary type things, really not seeing what's behind the veil. And something is transforming with that. Blue butterflies could be really significant. But the King of Wands, I love that. It does have this beautiful, like, it's transcending, right? The King of Wands can see the bigger picture. Oh, I'm putting these away, so I guess I won't be using these. Okay. I do want to pull some of these Star Codes Astral Oracles to see what area of life. Now, this can pertain to any area of life. However this resonates for you. There are many people watching, but I'm just pulling some cards as some confirmation, some clarification, perhaps. I'm going to pull 3 of these as well. There's something here about like 12 days. 12 days or like 12 months, and that's so interesting. I don't know. take it how it resonates. Something can be happening in 12 days. Maybe when you're at the time you're watching this, it's like 12 days away from the new year or something like that. But yeah, something about 12. And it's interesting how it's coming through too, because it's like either 12 days or 12 months. And that's a significant like gap of time. So maybe it's like these next 12 days, you can kind of set in motion some kind of pattern or habit or something that you can implement for the next 12 months and see what grows from there. I'm not too sure what that's about. I also kind of want to slow the energy down here. I feel like I'm moving too fast through it, and I'm not able to really get everything that wants to come through. Yeah, Jupiter, abundance, 11th house, community. Also, Aquarius energy could be significant. Cornucopias could be significant. 8th house, mystery. Yeah, that death and rebirth. This could have something to do with your work, again, your work environment, but also just how you show up in the world and how you have authority over your life. Yeah, balance. Here we go again. Moderation, balance, Libra energy coming through here. This is also giving me 7th house energy, relationships. Also, commerce is coming through. Look, ascendant, how you show up in this world. You can be 35. So I was pulling these to kind of see where the 7 of Swords energy is right now and how it has changed as we were moving into it. And I think it has changed significantly. I think at first there was something where you were all up in your head about something. And 9/11 could be significant. And it was, or maybe you were getting some kind of information that wasn't necessarily for you or correct information. And I feel like you kind of moved into more of the emotional side of what has been on your mind a lot, especially over, this past year, what you have been dealing with and going through in any aspect of your life. But also, I feel like, yeah, you kind of were in this headspace, in this thinking, maybe overthinking, maybe analysis paralysis type thinking. And now maybe not now, or at some point along this chapter that you're in, you've moved into the emotional side of it. And the emotional side of it, you were able to hear it better and understand it better. And you were able to understand what it was wanting you to do, and that was to let go. And I think the mental side of it has taken over so much because you didn't want to let go of whatever this was. Maybe it made you feel safe. Maybe you really, really wanted this thing. I don't know. But there's something here about you have to let it go in order for it to be transmuted, because what it is right now is not in alignment with you right now. And also, it's something like, even if that doesn't necessarily mean that if you let this thing go, then it gets alchemized and transmuted and transforms and then it comes back to you. That doesn't necessarily mean that either. But what it does mean is, if you love this thing or if you love this person so much, you'll respect their journey and will let them go, so they will be able to transform into who they need to be. Or you will let this idea go, or you'll let this path that you're on you'll deviate. You'll take that divine redirection or that divine detour, and you'll let it go in order for things to kind of grow or fall into place, so that if or when it comes back to you, it is in alignment with you. But also, even if it doesn't, again, you honor it by letting it go, by letting it grow in its own way and on its own journey. You can't not say you love someone or something if you don't allow it the space and freedom that this person, this place, whatever it is, this creation, to grow and to live in its own way of being. And I think with this King of Wands, it's like seeing the bigger picture for sure. looking up at something. There's like this, if you look at this Temperance card, there's this thing above this person's head. And it almost looks like if she were to look up, she were to see that it's a flower inside. So there's something like, yeah, looking up, seeing the bigger picture, but also looking up, maybe looking something up, or just like keeping your chin up, keep your chin up, that expression. It's like not all is lost. Yeah, because I do feel like this energy of Jupiter, it's beautiful because it's about expansion, right? And we love that expansion of abundance. We love that. But what we fail to kind of see sometimes is Jupiter expands everything, even the bad, right? So this energy of feeling this grief or allowing something to just let go, being able to walk away from something so you can focus on something that is growing exponentially, that's very prosperous for you. Maybe these feelings were big. Sadness, grief, anger, regret, shame, guilt, fear. Maybe this Jupiter energy really expanded those out and expanded you out. But when you are able to surrender to that expansion, you will always expand beyond it, so you can look again at the bigger picture, so you can expand. This is this big ball of emotion. This is you, and you guys are both expanding. But when you surrender to it, you can expand out further. This is kind of just what I'm seeing in my mind's eye. I'm trying to explain it the best way. And you're able to see, right, what these are all about, and see what direction these things are going in, and the wisdom that these emotions are teaching you and what it's trying to tell you. And so when you're able to just surrender, right, and allow the expansion to happen within you, within your heart space, to feel all those emotions, to let it flood through you and to you, it'll be a lot easier to understand why things are happening in a certain way. Temperance and community, 11th house. Yeah, I do feel like it's once you're able to let something go, you can get into alignment with, I'm not sure what this is. I want to pull a clarifier here. I'm going to use the Somnia Tarot for a clarifier. No way. Look what's at the bottom of this. 7 of Swords. That's crazy. This could have something to do with like a divorce, maybe. I don't know. Or some kind of like affair within that. Let's pull a clarifier on this Temperance. I want to say like, because if you look here at the 5 of Cups, there's these 2 flowers growing on this stem, and there's these 2 birds in the Temperance card. And it's like when you're able to release these things, and maybe these things were a major part of your life. They were a big part of your life. These flowers are big, right? They're bigger than these flowers here, or at least it looks like it, because this is in the foreground, so it's going to look bigger, right? Maybe this wasn't as big as you thought it was. Maybe this was here, right? But it's still time for you to let it go. And it's like, yeah, these things may be small right now, but that's because they're still growing. That's because you've been putting all your focus and you've been putting all your water into these flowers that have been fell off. And when you're able to redirect that energy toward alchemizing it, transmuting that energy into some kind of creative act, into some kind of, look, 8 of Coins, as I'm talking about that on the split. This is about, buckling down, focusing, doing the work. Concentrating on the work. What's this Temperance card about? Or I should say this community, 11th house community with this Temperance. What is this? 3 of Cups. This is about community. This is about celebration. So yeah, I think this is really saying, and I love how this red here, right? And then this red figure here in the center with, again, like the 2 birds. Anyway, so yeah, I think that's exactly what that's about. King of Coins here at the bottom with the Tower here at the top. I think this is just saying this is confirming what I said. It's like when you're able to transmute this energy, these really big feelings, into something maybe creative, or maybe just going out there and connecting with other people. This is aligning you to the people, to the places, to the opportunities that are in your, or for your highest good and in your favor. And it's like you're releasing something here, right? But the more you release, the more room you make to be poured into. This could have something to do with like something you're doing online, building a network, a community online. It's like, this is giving me like a web kind of imagery here. Sharing your story online maybe. But it's like when you do that, you're being poured into. King of Wands with this 8th house mystery. Yeah, it's like seeing the bigger picture, but even though you can zoom out and you can trust and believe in the bigger picture, you may be looking at all these parts and are like, I still don't understand it. I see the bigger picture, but I still don't understand it. And I think that's a message too, like, zoom out, look at the bigger picture, recognize it, honor it, but don't forget to zoom back in, right? 8 of Pentacles type energy again. Don't forget to zoom back in and focus on the task at hand, because all the big picture isn't going to make sense if you don't create, or it's like not going to make sense, or you're not going to understand it because you're not even aware of how it came to be. How do I want to say it? I use this example in another reading, but think of a Monet, and the way that I used it in that last reading was like up close, you don't know what the hell it is. You just see brushstrokes and colors. But when you zoom out, you're able to see the big picture, like, oh, okay, now I see it. For this reading, the energy is kind of like the opposite. It's like, oh, you see the picture, but that picture is not created unless you zoom in and concentrate and create all those tiny little brushstrokes in those colors. I think the reason why this zoomed out picture of things isn't making sense is because you haven't quite started. Maybe you have started on something or started doing something differently, but it's like, in order for that Monet to be a Monet, Monet had to paint it, right? So I hope that makes sense. My goodness, does that analogy make sense? I feel like I'm not doing it justice. Okay, let's get a Moonology card. I guess I'll read this from the book, and then I'll call it a day, a night. I don't know. We'll see. Let's get to... Ooh, have faith in your dreams. Expect powerful change. Yeah, the moment you can have faith in your dreams, expect that powerful change. Also, maybe something about Jupiter moving through some kind of 5th house energy. I'm going to read this out of the book. What's this? Meditate and contemplate. New moon in Pisces. New moon, new moon. What's at the bottom? You are good enough. And the top. Prosperity lies ahead. Hold on, for some reason I want to keep shuffling. Something does feel very fiery here. Fire energy, I'm not sure. Yeah, it's like the wind is like blowing the fire everywhere. You and your loved ones are safe. As I'm saying that, it's like the wind is blowing the fire everywhere. That sounds scary, right? But you and your loved ones are safe. Nothing is yet set in stone. Like I was saying, things can change and shift at any moment. Yeah, just like that fire and air energy, that's nothing is set in stone with that. It's time to release negativity at the top of the deck. I'll keep this here. The answers you need are coming. New moon in Gemini, full moon in Gemini. Wow. Where do I want to put this? Okay, this is bottom of the deck energy. That's crazy. So a moon cycle here, 7 months could be significant. Communication is key. I'm gonna hold this up to the camera and you can screenshot it. I'm going to read the answers you need are coming, full moon in Gemini. This card is a reminder. This card, the way I said card is crazy. Some of y'all can be from like Boston or the East Coast or something. That's crazy. There's something about an accent. This card is a reminder that it's important to speak your truth, but remember that your words have consequences and impact your listener. Right now, you need to guard against indiscretion. The answers you need may well come soon. The issue you're facing could well be one of a few conversations away from being resolved. If you're inquiring about love situation, a little flirting may be called for. If you're in the middle of an argument, this card comes to you as a reminder of the old, very non-Gemini message. Least said, soonest mended. It's good to talk, but be careful you aren't causing yourself any issues with your words. Words have enormous power, as metaphysician Florence Scovel Shinn put it. Your word is your wand. You create magic in your own reality every time you express yourself. Attune to the moon. Have an important conversation, but stay calm. And there's an exclamation point after that. Additional meanings for this card. Don't be superficial. Someone is trying to flirt with you. Have you noticed? You need to laugh off the situation and just move on. Job applications have good prospects. The teaching. Talk and more talk. As an emotional full moon moves into the communicative sign of Gemini. It's too easy to say too much. So mind how you go. If you pull this card. This card also indicates an enjoyable social event. Wow, here. Since the full moon in Gemini is a great time for socializing, this card also augurs well for any study you're either taking or considering. This is kind of crazy. I'm going to really have to come back to this reading and really feel it out. Maybe I'll listen to it again, but I kind of want to do another reading about this. So if this resonated with you, maybe the very next reading I do, I'll link them. We'll elaborate more on this. Maybe we'll start with this communication is key here. But I definitely feel like there are some answers coming to you soon, especially that energy of truth transcending illusion was coming through at the very beginning. And there's something definitely here about like an event. Maybe if you're invited somewhere, maybe you'll be invited somewhere. Use your discernment with this message. Really listen to yourself and your body about how you feel. But even if there's some resistance, maybe still go. I feel like it could be good for you. Even if nothing miraculous happens, I think it'll be good for you. It's kind of like a little domino effect. A little seed will be planted. You don't have to see what it's going to be. Just know that it was planted. You know what I mean? Anyways, I hope this was helpful. I love you so much. Take care.